Today I'm going to improve Spider-Man. And when I talk about Spider-Man, I'm not talking about this, or this guy. No, I'm talking about my personal homemade Spider-Man that I made over 20 years ago. Yeah, that's enough, that one. Over the years I had the pleasure to work on the real Spider-Man a few times, so this is a good moment to really improve my personal homemade Spider-Man. And what is a better way to improve this personal project than using my nephew Cas for the new Spider-Man? Cas has been a fan of Spider-Man for years. He watches the movies, plays the games and has his own gadgets. And he has the suit. When I was visiting him in the Netherlands, we shot a few shots on my phone, and now I'm back in LA, let's make him into the real Spider-Man. First thing we need is a rig. Scrolling through the interwebs, I found this really nice free rig from Gaiety, which is really nice, and all I need to do is just change the textures a little bit, and I took pictures of Cas's front and back so I can match the suit, and yeah, that works. So this rig is pretty simple, everything is going to be pretty simple, this is not going to be super realistic, but I have, for example, I shot this on a tripod, so now I can just cut him out really easily, and then I can just create a nice environment. So I've got this Empire State Building, and here's the original footage, and now I just put on top like a New York street with this kind of similar perspective. And now I'm going to just map this on top of a model in Maya, and now we can just move the camera through it. So here we go, ready to go, I can just do what I want. So basically the idea is that he's gonna jump on there, and then he's gonna jump here against the wall, and then we're going up into the tower. And then I want to end up with this footage where he's just landing on the pole, which is actually just low on the street. Alright, so first thing I want to do is just roto his body, so we're matching the beginning, so we can then slowly fade over to the CG body. So we got this now, and now I can start blocking out what I want to do. So, first thing, he's going to be like, shooting his first web. And then he ends up there, and then he's going to shoot another web towards the wall. And I'm doing this all really rough. Like that. Cool, and then he flies towards the wall. So this is kind of like previous, I'm just doing it really rough. Then he runs against the wall. Choop, 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 choop. And then he jumps. Whee! And eventually ends up really close to the tower. Somewhere there. Like maybe he's gonna do a salto or something. Something like that. Cool. So we got this. Alright, we got a base. And now let's make it better. Okay, actually I want him to pull with two arms. Two webs. And then here, let's make his feet contact better. Make sure he's not going through the wall. Everything's still a little bit rough. Let's improve those poses. A little bit more exaggerated poses. And here too, we can do a way more stronger pose when he starts to shoot. And then he makes himself into a little ball to do the salto. Improve that. Way more Spidey pose. Actually, Spider-Man is one of the best examples when it comes to posing and about the animation principles. Let me show you a little bit. So let's go really basic here. Let's think about the first principles, the squash and stretch, for example. If you look at this again, and if I just put on the bouncing ball on there, look at this. We got a stretch, we got a squash, becomes a nice ball, and stretch. Let me show you in this one as well. We got a ball, we got a stretch, and then he squashes, and then he fires off in a nice stretch. This is really literally the basic principles that are applied here. Also, the anticipation, right, is also one. Look at this, a beautiful anticipation pose. Another one you see here. You have the normal pose, then he anticipates, and then he jumps off. Cool, now he lands nicely in an example for staging. Look at this, we have the nice helicopter in the foreground to create some depth and also create some parallax. We look at the main thing here, which is a great moment of staging. But look at this, we've got a nice clear pose here, nice over shoulder. But look at what happened now. First he goes away far, then we get a close-up in the same shot. So dynamic, it's so cool. And then here we go and we continue and we have a nice over shoulder. And then top shot. And look at this. He just pulls the camera up. So he leads the camera, which is a nice thing. You never want to have the camera leading the character. No, it has to be the other way, so it feels more natural. And then here, nice low shot, looking up. We don't see that often, it's really cool. Here a nice over shoulder again. And then here, he falls down. And then, see what happens? There's a nice follow through. Follow through, overlap, more principles of animation. Look at this, if you put the typical pendulum on there, you can see how the basic principles really apply here again. Another super basic one is arcs. Look at this. In this more stable shot, you can see how if you draw them on there, you have these beautiful arcs. And also ease in or slow in, slow out. If you put in the stripes here, see how he goes up and he goes down. So it's basically the inertia that we also learned in the dragon video. This is coming into play here as well. So the bigger something is, the slower it pushes us off. And here you can see that too. He has some weight, so he pushes off a little slow, and then he makes speed and he goes up. Alright, cool. So I started all this about poses, right? So let's have a look one more time at the poses that I was talking about. Look at all these. We have these really nice clean curves and really clear silhouettes. There's always some negative space. And let me actually pause it here. So for example, look at this. You got these nice curves here. Really clean. We can see all the arms and legs, so it's really clear to read. Here too, you can still feel the knee. And this is just a silhouette, right? But these are all really typical Spider-Man poses. Here too, we can still see the arm as well. We have a nice curve here. Everything goes with curves and with some legs or limbs sticking out. This one is really cool. You can really feel this really strong pull of the rope, which will shoot him off to the next direction. Anyway, so if you want to learn more about these principles of animation, check out the link in the description. But let's move on and finish this animation. So let's clean up some poses. Some poses I just feel like they don't look very Spidey. So I'm just making them a little bit more simple and make sure that there's enough negative space so we can really read those poses. Also make sure that the arcs work better in the legs when they're moving around, so you don't really feel too much IK. Let's move him a little bit closer to the building, so when he pushes off there's a little bit more jump space. Alright, cool. So now I want to add in some webs, and I'm just going to create a simple cylinder with a texture of a web and I rig it really quick, and then that's ready to go. So let's add those in. One here. Just gonna stick it up there. Up. Cool. And now the next one. I make them pretty thick because otherwise we don't really see him. And then here he shoots another one. Yep. And then just keep going until this last one. And then he lets go of it. Sorry, I cannot help it. Alright, so now it's all done. Let's have a look at the final result. Alright, cool. Way better than it was 20 years ago. Definitely isn't realistic yet or anything, but this was really fun to do. It only took me like 3 hours or so to do. Check it out on my masterclass if you want to see how I animated this. And yeah, please let me know in the comments what you think. And I hope you really like this. Thank you so much for watching. And actually more important, what did Cas think of the animation?
Cool.